Hello, classmates and professor. I'm Christopher Matthews. I'm here to discuss two books that I would like to use in future classes to hopefully engage my students as a social studies teacher in secondary education, so middle school, high school, to hopefully engage them more with the learning beyond just the textbook and beyond just the curriculum. The first one is a book that I've had for many years, and I got it when I was in middle school, and I've read it many, many times, and it has helped me a lot. Anytime like there's a uh, major court decision or major constitutional debate going on or political upheaval, is the Penguin Guide to the United States Constitution, annotated by Richard Beeman, a history professor at the University of Pennsylvania. And this is about 200 pages. It's a real small book, but it has the full Declaration of Independence, United States Constitution, the Federalist Papers, the Bill of Rights, uh, and many important Supreme Court decisions in here. And it has a way, even though it's written by a professor, it is written in a way that anyone can understand. It's written at a 10th grade reading level. So my high school students that are taking civics should definitely be able to understand this, or a government class. And it really connects the history and the context of the times to how they are writing the Declaration of Independence, how they are writing the Constitution, and what went into all the amendments that were made to it. Just for an example, in here, it's got the 19th Amendment in 1920. It gives the actual nomenclature that is in there, and then below is the annotation. And just from it, the 19th Amendment was the culmination of more than three-quarters of a century of dedicated work by advocates on female suffrage. And then it goes on to explain who was advocating for this, um, what was the significance of female suffrage in comparison to other suffrage movements, the timing of it, and why it took so long. Um, and towards the back is all the Supreme Court decisions of note, like Roe v. Wade, Plessy versus Ferguson, Brown v. Board of Education, Schenck versus the United States, and Korematsu versus the United States. But 200 pages of really important stuff that I think I could build an entire civics class around this book. And at the time, this costed Barnes & Noble $5 just for this. And I think I could convince my school board to buy a set of 200 of those, probably for a discounted price from Penguin Books, the Penguin Guide to the United States Constitution. But it also has the Federalist Papers, Declaration of Independence, and other great stuff for civics or government class. I love that book so much. The second book, it's actually two books, but one is is the first one that came out first. It's by Art Spiegelman, and I would use this in a U.S. history or world history class that covers like World War II. It is, I would want to use this, or at least part of it, to try and engage students that don't necessarily like reading big, thick books or really long texts. Kids that aren't as good at reading, or they feel they're not as good at reading, this could be good for them. It's called Mouse, and it's about the Holocaust. So it covers a heavy topic that I personally feel needs to be covered in schools. Children, high school students, before they join the world, they need to know that that happened and why it happened and what we need to learn from it. And Mouse is a fantastic book. It is sadly banned in many school districts for reasons that are beyond me. Some people think that children shouldn't be learning about the Holocaust, but it is vital to know about. But it's a graphic novel, so it's like a cartoon, or comic book rather, of the Holocaust, this author's father's experience of that. And it's especially important because the students that I'll be teaching and my classmates will be teaching, they won't have the luxury of being able to speak to people who witnessed it, who experienced it, and lived through it, because that generation is dying off. I and other students are lucky enough to have met those people who lived through the camps. But And then the second part, if a student were interested, I'd want to have a set in my classroom, or at least mine, that is about his father's experience of immigrating to the United States. So I think even if I don't have a significant Jewish population at my school, this could be something that engages students that have their relatives have immigrated to the United States. They can learn about that, learn about one instance of another family that came to the United States and what that's like, and then also the horrors of the Holocaust and what are the lessons we can take away from that. So those are my two books that I want in my classroom to hopefully engage my students in social studies more. Mouse by Art Spiegelman and The Penguin Guide to the United States Constitution, including other important documents by Richard Beeman. Yes, thank you.